Kashmir Files gets a lot of its criticism that it has painted the minorities in a negative light, to which your response was that that can't be the case because the first character in the movie is a child who is a Muslim boy, and you show him in a positive light because he helps the protagonist, if I'm right in assuming.
See, okay, I'll tell you what. The problem is that in this world now, because of social media, anybody comes from anywhere, asks some question, and media has also formed this tendency to pick that uninformed, and I would say it very casually, very stupid, dumb kind of question, and then we make it a mainstream question, and therefore what is happening is we are dumbing down everybody in the process, which is why a film like Kashmir Files, which should be a normal, becomes extraordinary because nobody talks about it. Now, if the film is against minority, who was the minority in Kashmir? Right, number one. Okay, second thing, people say that you have not shown that Muslims were also killed. And nobody, I mean the people who asked this question also know the answer very well. Only those Muslims were killed who were with Bharat or India, who were against terrorism. And if it was such a oppression of Muslims, why didn't even one Muslim left Kashmir? Right? Now the thing is, it's in a fake secularism, absolutely bogus secularism, in a democracy which actually is a mobocracy, which is ruled by the mob, and we call it democracy, a constitution which has a fundamental, do you know, does anybody here know that Indian constitution mentions the word minority only once? It gives right to life equally to everyone. And do you realize that before 1992 there was no minority commission or ministry of minorities? There is a Supreme Court judgment of, I think, 2002 or 1990, my pass phone mein likha hua, exact date mujhe nahi pata, but it's a very recent, not very old, which says that there cannot be any definition of in this country of minority nationally, because you are Odia.
Yes,
if you come to Maharashtra, you become a minority. And minority in India, Indian constitution does not recognize religious minority. Indian constitution says that because the states were divided on the linguistic basis, therefore linguistic minorities are the real minorities. A Sikh in a Gurdaspur may be part of majority, but in Chandigarh, just few kilometers away, he becomes a minority. Okay, so it's a very crazy kind of a definition, but because because of this whole problem came because 1991, when the Ram Janmabhoomi Andolan was taking place, to neutralize that, Congress started all this appeasement politics. And it is not about Hindu Muslims. If you see Hindu Muslims, which India is the only nation in the entire world. And I am saying it with 100% evidence. Anybody who travels anywhere, today you go to Germany and you ask them about the refugees, they don't live together. They don't interact together. They don't know each other's customs, language, nothing. In America, they talk so much about secularism. But Americans have zero idea about Islamic culture. They know nothing about them. India is the only country which knows about Islam, perhaps sometimes better than a lot of lot of Muslims. And vice versa. Muslim people write about Krishna and about Ram, and in Awadh they write constantly about it. Ghalib has written it, Mir has written it, everybody has written, and Indian scholars both ways. And we interact so much with each other. In real life, nobody has a problem. The producer of Kashmir Files was a Muslim. The line producers were Muslims. That little baby who's playing that Krishna is a Muslim girl who played a boy, actually little boy in the film. Our main costume designer is a Muslim. Muslims have loved it. I meet so many Muslims who take pictures with me and say, we can't speak for certain reasons, but that film is so true. We are getting bad name because the intellectuals of Islamic society keep quiet when it comes to terrorism. Ask any young Muslim boy and girl, they suffer every day. So therefore, I think Kashmir Files, we never pretended. We always said this film is based on the interviews of the victims of the genocide, and which are Kashmiri Hindu victims. We never claimed this film is about everybody. I'm sorry if I don't make those kind of secular films.